Yo, what's up guys? Thanks for joining me again for another episode of my Faction Ironman series. I realized today that I haven't set up any sort of quote-unquote end goal because I'm not sure that that's something you can really do with this game. I think I'm just going to play until this Faction Ironman thing stops being fun. There isn't really an ending with this game, it's just different points of how content you are with your character, right? For example, on my main, I like to ZBZ a lot, and I can tank and support pretty effectively. I play stuff like Great Curse and Crystals and Hellgates. And yeah, sure, I could spend my time getting, more spec into those things, like I'm not 700 out of 700 or whatever, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that character. Anyway, the goal of this section of the series was to get from T3 to T4 gears. If you haven't realized by now, a lot of our time early on, and because we don't have premium, is going to be mainly gathering. Because I don't have that bonus from gathering gear yet, or the bonus from premium. It's felt like a pretty big slog so far. I'm going to try to do my best to skip through all of the, boring gathering parts. I'll probably mention, oh yeah, I gathered for X hours here, or, something along those lines. So anyway, I do a couple dungeons with my new T3 gear, to get some faction points and some money. And I got tired of it because, it was pretty slow, and T3 gear, tier 4 dungeon, shitty food, the health regen takes a lot longer to actually regenerate your health, so I figured it was time to hit T4. Realized how low we were on cash, so we banked the faction points and had enough for around 5 crests, and we make our first faction sale, which is awesome because now I had enough money to craft and everything. I sell quickly to a buy order because I only would have gained like another 4k, and I was impatient to get, my crafting and stuff up and running, so, well, I'm impatient. We hit somewhere around 50k silver, and I was tired of riding a donkey, so I picked up a T3 horse. We could have afforded a T4, but I needed some, carrots and stuff so we could craft some better food, or some more food, and get my crafting level up in general. So I craft some carrots and make ourselves some more food for fame farming. I also figured out it was about time we upgraded to, T3 gathering tools. This should help out quite a bit with gathering speed. I also craft a couple T3 spears and study them all so we can get closer to craft T4 spears. And then we head out to gather some T4 fiber. Now, I said earlier I was just going to say, oh, well, I'm just going to tell you how much I gathered. Well, I can't even gather for 30 minutes to an hour because I have this tiny bag and, very little carry weight because of the horse I'm riding. Yo, what is this man's doing out here? Look at this. The fuck? I filled my bags with fiber and popped into a dungeon real quick so I could get my daily learning points. I decided to finish the dungeon, and holy shit am I glad because we got an insanely helpful upgrade. So we got a T4 Hunter hood to drop, which is huge because the reflectability is amazing in PvP. We also picked up some T4 materials in the form of a night helm. End up finishing the dungeon and get insane drop number 2. 4-1 soldier boots. The Wanderlust ability makes these things amazing for covering a ton of ground, which is good for both catching targets and running away. Finish up this dungeon and head back to town to craft some more gear for myself. T3 bag and cape, so technically now I'm full T3 I guess. And after a bunch of refining and crafting, I was broke again, so I buy a couple crests and sell them for quick cash. I was glad I got a couple fame books out of those dungeons I did earlier, so I equipped some T2 soldier boots and a leather helm that I crafted earlier. Looks like I was a little short on the amount of experience I needed for the boots, so I'll bring the boots with me and go out and get a little more fame. Feels good to have T4 armor on again. Went out and gathered a bunch of T3 and T4 hides and logs. Came back and did a whole bunch of refining again, and I didn't hit the learning point for Spear Crafter, so I was a little pissed. And I guess on this day in particular it was getting late, so I randomly went out and did another dungeon just to unlock my daily learning points and book. These episodes are recorded over multiple days, so you're gonna see me unlock these daily events probably multiple times in an episode. And guess what we did the next day? More gathering. T3 stuff this time because I have to upgrade my tool crafter skills, and I ended up using a bunch of my learning points here because I was in quite the fuck it mood. Smash some more learning points into Spear Crafter so that I can finally craft the T4 spear that I've been wanting for forever, then proceed to craft our first T4 weapon. So you can't have a T4 weapon with a T3 offhand, right? So I use some more learning points and get that T4 offhand. And I get excited to use my T4 stuff, so I go out and fame farm a little bit. Ooh, and I got a little reputation increase. Headed back to Fort Sterling and purchased some mountain hearts from good old Thora Ironheart. Had a little bit left over, so I bought a crest too. Did the responsible thing this time and put them up for sell order. Looks like I could finally afford myself some cabbage, so I crafted some cabbage soup, I guess. Don't know where that footage went. I was also tired of not having potions, so I got my alchemy up just a little bit. But what use are T3 resistance pots when you can have T4 healing pots? So grab some ingredients off the auction house and go ahead to craft that stuff. Alright, we got some healing potions, and it looks like I've got some leftover materials, so let's make some poison potions as well. Figure my next logical upgrade should probably be something like a mount. And I love the T5 armored horse because usually, you can get away from stuff in open world ganking situations, etc, etc. So we finally get a T5 mount. What should we name him? How about Dan? I like that, Dan the horse. So I'm excited to have good food and a nice horse to ride out, so I head out in search of some more dungeons on Dan the horse. That's when it happened. A couple Limhurst fellas riding Swifties surround me quickly. My first thought is just ride back to the gate, you're so close. I nearly butthole myself. Hippocrates ends up catching me. They throw poison on my poor horse. Dan, no! Then I play this super poorly and only use my boots and my reflect. I don't use any of my movement abilities or my healing potion. But hey, I got an achievement. As John Dryden once said, beware the fury of a patient man. Now, I don't know who John Dryden is, and I'm not sure whether doing this series makes me stupid or patient. Either way, I will have my revenge on Oceanic Brody. And I think that's a pretty solid ending point for this episode. If you guys have enjoyed the stuff so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to join the public Discord. See you next time. Peace!